So hi everyone, in this video we are going to balance the following chemical equation here. So first chemical equation is given. What is the first chemical equation? NaOH plus H2SO4 which gives Na2SO4 plus H2O. And the second chemical equation, what is the second chemical equation? Fe2O3 plus Al which gives Al2O3 plus Fe. So observe here, NaOH means sodium, Na for sodium, OH means hydroxide, sodium hydroxide. H2SO4 means sulfuric acid. H2SO4 means what? Sulfuric acid. What is Na2SO4? Sodium sulfate. And what is H2O? H2O means what? Molecular formula of water. Remember this one. Fe2O3, iron oxide. Iron oxide. Plus Al means what? Aluminium. What? Al means what? Aluminium. Al2O3 means what? Aluminium oxide. Plus Fe means what? Iron. Remember this one. Next, observe here. So we have to balance this two chemical equation here. NaOH means sodium atom. How many elements? We have to, first of all, we have to identify how many elements are given here in this chemical equation. So let us balance this chemical equation. So how many atoms are there? Sodium. Sodium is a first element, one element. Next, oxygen is there, hydrogen is there. Sodium, oxygen, hydrogen, and one more, sulfur is there. How many elements are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 elements are given here. 4 elements. In this case, if you observe, how many elements are there? Fe, single element, iron. So this is what? Fe means what? Iron. O means what? Oxygen. 2 elements. Third element. So 3 elements are given. In this chemical equation, 3 elements are given. But here in this chemical equation, 4 elements are given. So to balance this chemical equation, we have to consider sodium. What is sodium? How many atoms are there? How many sodium atoms are there? If there is no value, we have to consider 1. If there is no value, we have to consider 1. Then oxygen. How many atoms are there? 1. So oxygen atom. How many oxygen atoms are there? 1. At a reactant. So we know very well already in previous video we discussed that left hand side is called what? Reactants. Left hand side are called what? Reactants. And right hand side is nothing but what? Products. Remember this one, very important. Reactants. Sodium, how many atoms? If there is no value, we need to consider 1. Oxygen, if you observe, so here this is 1 plus 1 plus 4, how much here? 1 plus 4, 5. 1 plus 4, how much? 5. Next, hydrogen, if there is no one value, 1. 1 plus, how many hydrogens are there? 2. So 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2. Hydrogen, how many hydrogen atoms are there? Totally 3. Next, sulfur. Sulfur, how many atoms of sulfur is there? If there is no value, we need to consider 1. So sulfur, how many atoms? 1. So these are the number of atoms at the reactant side. Now consider the number of atoms at product side. Next, sodium. How many atoms of sodium is there? 2 atoms at right hand side. Next to sulfur. How many atoms of sulfur? Sulfur means 1. So first of all we have to consider oxygen here. Oxygen 4 plus. Here oxygen is there. In this compound oxygen is also there. So if there is no value, 1 we have to consider. 1 plus 4. 1 plus 4. Remember 1. This oxygen, this 1 value means oxygen. 1 atom of oxygen is here. 4 atom of oxygen is there. 1 plus 4. How many oxygen atoms are there? 5. Next, hydrogen. How many hydrogen atoms are there in this compound? 2. So hydrogen, how many atoms are there? 2. Next, if you observe sulfur, how many atoms of sulfur is there in this product side? 1. So if you check Once you check the number of atoms whether they are balanced or not, sulfur 1 1, hydrogen atoms at reactant side 3 atoms, at product side 2 atoms, oxygen 5 atoms at reactant side, 5 atoms of at reactant side, 1 atom at atom of sodium at reactant side, 2 atoms of sodium atoms at a product side. So we need to balance the chemical equation here. So how can we balance the chemical equation? So once you check here, once you consider the chemical equation, again write the chemical equation, NaOH plus H2SO4, which gives Na2SO4 plus H2O. So observe here, 1 atom of sodium, 2 atom of sodium. So sodium is unbalanced here. We have to balance the sodium here 1. So here 2. So coefficient, don't convert this 1 as 2. Don't do like that. This is wrong process. So we need to consider this 2 value. We have to convert this sodium as 2. Convert this 1 from 2. So write the coefficient 2, 1 into 2, 1 into 2. You will get what? 2 value. The number of atoms becomes what? 2. So 1, 2 is 2. How many atoms at RHS side? 2. We have converted this one as what? 2. By writing the value 2 at coefficient. 1 into 2 becomes what? 2. Here 2. So sodium is balanced. So here if you observe, we have to balance the hydrogen atoms here. We have to balance the hydrogen atoms. So once you check the hydrogen atoms here, once you check the hydrogen atoms, how many hydrogen atoms are there here? 2. Here how many hydrogen atoms are there? 2. So if you observe here, hydrogen atoms 2, here hydrogen atoms 2. Then if you observe in this case, 1 1 into 2, 1 into 2, 2, 2 plus 2 hydrogen. Once you check here, this is the hydrogen, multiply this 1 into 2, this 2 belongs to sodium and this 2 belongs to oxygen, this 2 belongs to hydrogen. Remember this one, 2 into 1, 2 into 1, 2, 2 plus 2, how much? Hydrogen. 2 2 plus 2, 4. So 4 hydrogen atoms are there. Then once you check here 2, so we have to convert this into 4. So 2 into 2, 2 into 2, how much? 4. Therefore we have balanced this sodium atom also and hydrogen atom also. Once you check here left hand side, sodium, how many atoms of sodium is there? Sodium 1 into 2, 2 atoms. Next hydrogen, how many atoms of hydrogen at reactant side? 2 2 plus 1 into 2, 1 into 2, 2 plus 2, 4. Next oxygen, how many atoms of oxygen is there? Here if you observe oxygen atoms, how many oxygen atoms are there? 1 2 za, 1 2 za 2, 2 plus 4, 1 2 za 2, 2 plus 4, 6, 6 atoms. Then observe the sulfur. Sulfur, how many sulfur atoms are there? Only 1. This is the reactant side, the number of atoms present at reactant side. Now observe at product side, sodium, how many atoms are there? 2 atoms. Sulfur, so sulfur 1. Next oxygen 4 plus 1 into 2, 4 plus 2, 4 plus 2, how much? 6. 2 1 za, 1 2 za 2, 2 here, 2 oxygen atoms plus here how many atoms? 4. So 1 2 za 2, 2 plus 4, how much? 6. Next, so oxygen is completed. Again hydrogen, how many hydrogen atoms are there? Hydrogen, once you check 2 2 za 4, so 2 2 za 4. So observe here hydrogen 4, oxygen 6, sulfur 1 1, sodium 2 2. So by this we have completed this chemical equation, we have balanced this chemical equation. So we have completed what? Balanced chemical equation. Once you check here, sodium, sodium. How many atoms of sodium is there at reactant side? 2. At product side? 2. Hydrogen at reactant side 4. Here product side 4. Oxygen 6. At product side 6. Sulfur 1 1. So therefore this chemical equation shows 2 NaOH plus H2SO4, which gives Na2SO4 plus 2H2O. This is the balanced chemical equation. What is this? This is the balanced chemical equation. Now let us balance this second chemical equation here by taking the number of atoms at reactant side. We know very well this is the left hand side, left to side, left hand. This is what? Left hand side, and this is what? Right hand side. So left hand side is nothing but what? Reactants, and RHS side is nothing but what? Products. So let us consider the number of atoms at reactant side. Fe we have to consider. Fe means iron. How many atoms are there? Observe here, 2 atoms, so we have to write 2. Oxygen, how many atoms of oxygen? 3. Aluminium, there is no value, we have to consider as 1. So aluminium, how many atoms are there? 1. So these are the number of atoms at reactant side. Now once you check the number of atoms at products, aluminium, so first of all we need to consider the order here. Fe, so Fe we are going to consider here. If there is no value, we have to consider 1. Don't forget that one. Fe means what? 1. How many atoms are there? 1. There is no value, we have to consider 1. Then oxygen, how many atoms of oxygen is there? 3. Then again observe the aluminium. How many aluminium atoms are there? Once you observe here, 2. So you have to write 2 here. Very easy, very simple chemical equation. So observe here, Fe, iron, Fe 2 atoms, Fe 1 atom. Oxygen 3, oxygen 3. Aluminium 1 and aluminium 2 atoms. So if you observe here, in the case of iron, 2 atoms at reactant side, 1 atom at product side. Oxygen is balanced in both the reactant side and product side, but aluminium and Fe, iron, are in unbalanced condition. So we have to balance. So to balance this chemical equation, you have to write again. You have to write this chemical equation, given chemical equation, Fe2 plus O3, Fe2O3 plus aluminium, which gives Al2O3 plus Fe. Observe here, Fe, how many atoms at reactant side? 2 atoms of at reactant side, iron. So if there is no value, means 1 we have considered. 1 into dash value equal to 2 means what? If you observe, 1 into what value you have to multiply to get 2 here? 1 2 1 2 will get what? 2 value. You will get what? 2. 1 2 2. So therefore Fe, iron atoms at reactants, how many atoms are there? 2. So we have converted this 1 as 2 by multiplying, by writing 2 at coefficient. When you multiply this atom into coefficient, the number of atom into coefficient, 1 into 2 equal to 2. So the number of atoms of iron at reactant side is equal to the number of atom of iron at product side. We have balanced the iron atoms here. Then once you check the aluminium here, how many aluminium atoms at reactant side? Only, no value is there. So if there is no value, we have to consider 1. So here at product side, how many value is there? 2. So we have to change this 1 as 2. So don't write 2 here. So we have to write this 2 at a product at a coefficient side. Coefficient means before the element. So here if you observe, 1 into 2 becomes what? 2. Here 2. So if there is no coefficient means we have to consider 1. So don't write 1 here. So once you check the number of atoms, Fe, how many number of atoms are there? 2. Then oxygen, how many atoms of oxygen is there? How many atoms of oxygen? 3. Here if you observe. Then aluminium, how many aluminium atoms are there? 1 into, multiply this number of atom into coefficient, you will get 2. Then aluminium, if you observe, or else you can take Fe, 1 into 2, multiply this coefficient, 1 into coefficient, Fe becomes what? 1 into 2, 2. Therefore Fe is balanced, iron is balanced here. Oxygen, oxygen, how many atoms of oxygen is there? 3 atoms of oxygen at reactant side. Product side if you observe, oxygen, how many oxygens are there? Already they are balanced. Oxygen, number of atoms of oxygen both reactant side and product side are equal. Then aluminium, aluminium, observe the aluminium atoms at product side. Product side, how many atoms of product side is there? 2. So if you observe 2 3 2 2 3 2 means Fe2 Fe2 O3 O3 Al2 Al2. The number of atoms at reactant side is equal to the number of atoms of at the product side. Therefore, what is our balanced chemical equation? Fe2 O3 plus 2 aluminium, which gives Al2O3 plus 2 Fe. This is the required balanced chemical equation. Remember, this is the balanced chemical equation and this is the unbalanced chemical equation. Means we have converted this unbalanced chemical equation into balanced chemical equation by observing the number of atoms at reactant side, number of atoms at a product side. So remember, reactant side lies at LHS, products lies at a RHS side. Very easy, simple method here. This is the oral concept is explained in easy manner. So don't confuse while you observe the number of atoms at reactant side and product. So if you observe at a reactant side always lies at LHS and product side always lies at RHS. Remember this one. So this is the process is to follow to balance a chemical equation. So thank you very much.